Hello, everyone, and welcome to What the Fuck Wednesdays on Thursdays. That's right. That's right. We're a day late, but not $1 short.
There you go.
Because there's a lot of shit to get into. However, sometimes we can't always just get to it on a Wednesday because there's just too damn much.
Too much.
And life is life.
Life is life.
Life is life because life is happening, guys.
It is.
So hopefully you're out enjoying this weather. And we can kind of get probably right to it, you think, today?
Yeah.
Would you like to get right to it today, Laura?
We can do
Two sisters chopping it up. You know how it goes, guys. Dark and Stormy.
Dark and Stormy.
Tito's and Coke Zero. Ching, ching. Here we go. Let's get right into condiments, crime, and resistance.
Yes. Condiments.
So this is episode 10. So for 10 weeks, we've been kind of at it.
We've been at it.
So that's good. That's a little consistency, more than I normally have.
Yep.
So I am appreciative of that in you.
Because
I don't know that I would have even started like running my mouth on air. Not air, but whatever the hell we're doing. Without you.
Oh, well, thank you.
This is my ride or die sister, guys.
There you go.
It's me and her. The best co-pilot in the car.
Yeah.
Makes the sandwiches right there for you.
I do.
Bitch, can I get it? Driving 90 miles an hour. Yeah. Can I get a ham and cheese? Pick it up, make it, put it in there, get the mayonnaise around it, put it in the mold, and I can just eat it while I drive.
She does.
Love that. She's the best. She's the best co-pilot. She's amazing. Amazing. So yes.
Gotta keep going.
That's right. Gotta keep going.
Gotta keep going.
So yes. First, happy Juneteenth.
Yes.
Freedom.
Juneteenth.
Freedom.
Yes.
Freedom. Yes. Because good old Texas only took 2 years.
Actually, a little
2
over 2
years.
years. Yeah.
A little over 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation.
Yes.
In 1863. But Texas, being the last Confederate state to acknowledge and free.
Yes.
1865.
Yeah.
Because it took Texas 2 fucking years to follow suit. Because it's Texas,
it's
guys.
Texas.
They drive caravans. They wear Crocs. It's all three.
Yes, it is. All three in Texas.
They're horrible.
Yeah, it is horrible. But I have a Juneteenth story.
Yay.
Today.
On Juneteenth.
On Juneteenth. Today. So, I had to go for a test today. I had to go to the hospital for a test today.
Aflac. We're not turning this into an Aflac commercial,
It's just a test. So I'm sitting there, and there's 2 women older than my mother. All right.
Mom, you heard this?
Well, they are. They're older than her. 1942, both of them. Both the people were sitting there. I know because they're saying, and what is your date of birth?
Yeah, that's right. 3/25/70, guys.
I hear all of their date of birth.
Yep.
So I'm sitting there and I'm playing a game on my phone, and they sit down and they're chatting, right? And one of the women says, I don't watch a lot of TV. She's, and she says, I haven't had a TV in my house for 15 years. Yep. So I think she does it on her computer. Because she was talking about, she's just being, because she said something about HGTV, because that's what was on the TV.
Oh, they always
She knew about HGTV. Her ass is watching somewhere.
Yeah. Most doctors' offices have, it's a thing. We
yes,
know.
HGTV.
I would put MSNBC on, and patients would be like, oh my God, and I'd say, oh my God, house hunt is it? Here we go.
Yeah,
because I can't deal with this mess.
Well, that's true. And
it's hard to be neutral
in
that space.
It's hard. So this woman who hasn't had a TV in 15 years says to this other woman who's sitting there, says, I don't really understand this whole Juneteenth thing. What is this Juneteenth?
Wait, this is in the doctor's office
This is
today?
in the doctor's office today, this afternoon. All right?
By the way, I was in that same office after her for an exam. Just happens to be sisters, same day.
Yeah.
Crazy. I know the women you're talking about. Because when I walked in there at 3:20, there were 3 elderly ladies sitting in there.
Yeah. One with long hair, one with short hair. Yeah.
And they were talking. Yeah. And then when I left at 4, they were still there. And they looked at me like, why did you get called right in? And why are we still here? Because I'm Shauna. That's why. Because it's me, guys.
Well, the one with the really short hair, had to wait
Yes.
45 minutes
Yes.
because she had a drink
Yep.
for a test.
When I walked in, I heard the lady say she's got to wait 45
Yeah,
minutes.
exactly.
There's no HIPAA here, guys.
So anyway, we know everything.
We're not telling you.
We know everything.
Names.
Yeah. So the one with the long hair who didn't have to do the barium thing says, I really don't understand what this whole Juneteenth thing is about. I think personally she was just trying to make conversation.
Right.
All right, that's what I think.
Right.
Wow. The short-haired one goes, it's for the blacks.
She said it's for the blacks.
She said, it's for the blacks. And then she went, huh. She went, it's for the blacks. Huh.
It's for the blacks.
For the blacks. Right? Okay, so I was like, okay. I didn't say anything right away, because I wasn't going to shut up,
If they would
right?
have said that if I was sitting there.
I don't know, probably not. So the other woman said something, yeah, I just wish I knew more about it, right? And before the other one said something that I was going to have to, knock her down, because I already know she's a fox watching, Trump.
It's for the blacks.
Because when you say it's for the blacks, when you got to add that, onto it, all right? When you say that, we got some serious going on, right?
For the blacks.
So so I put my phone down, and I said, well, actually,
shit, you did not.
I sure did.
Yeah, like that Geico commercial. Here we go. Don't be like your parents.
Well, actually,
We actually are.
I said,
educate you real quick.
it's not just about black freedom. I said, and I explained about, the writer going to Texas and informing the slaves in Texas after 2 years that they were actually free now because they didn't know. All right. And that it was 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation had been signed and declared and all this other stuff. But these people in Texas did not know. The slaves in Texas did not know they were no longer slaves. All right. And the woman sitting there with the long hair, she goes, oh, wow. And the other one looks at me and she goes, I didn't know all that. And I didn't want to say obviously, so.
Google it.
People who watch Fox do not Google.
Oh, we know that.
Because then they would have to have a different.
You'd have to have different information
Exactly.
in your brain.
Exactly.
Dang.
So then the one with the long hair says, well, who is the president then? And I was like, okay. I said, well, I was actually wrong with my answer. Okay,
What?
I was wrong with my answer because I said Abraham Lincoln, but he wasn't on
surprised.
social media, so he couldn't tweet it like the present guy. Right? That's what I did say. But I was wrong because Abraham Lincoln was assassinated 2 months before June 19th.
1865.
Yes, exactly. Because that was the year that they arrived in Texas. All right, so the president at the time was actually Andrew Johnson, who was the vice president of Abraham Lincoln. And yes, my ass had to look it up. Okay,
But that's what the internet is for.
because I said that answer and then I was like, oh, I'm not sure because assassination. When was it?
Right.
Which is why I looked it up. Right.
Right.
So
You're a great historian 99% of the time.
well, I blew that one.
She did blow that one.
I blew
However,
that one
I would have blown
by a
it.
couple of months because he was assassinated in April, and
Clearly June 19th.
and June 19th was 2 months later.
Here
Okay,
we are.
so so I'm like on Juneteenth.
On Juneteenth,
I'm sitting
we're
here
talking
listening
about
to this
the blacks.
this elderly woman who's older than my mama
Wow.
talking about the blacks. I was immediately reminded of. I'm sorry, this is
Uh-oh.
Lethal Weapon.
Uh-oh.
Is it number 3 or number 4?
I don't know.
When Joe Pesci, they're trying to, whatever, it doesn't matter. They're in the South African embassy.
Mm.
All right. And Danny Glover is like trying to go to South Africa because, and so the guy there tells him, But sir, you're black. Why would you want to go? You're black. Right? And Joe Pesci turns to him and he goes, so that's right, you're black. And I was like, that's exactly how I felt. Like, am I sitting here with the ambassador for South Africa?
Oh my god!
Because it's the blacks.
It was the blacks.
It's
day.
the blacks.
It's the blacks day.
And she didn't say black. She said black. She did.
The blacks day.
You know, it's the blacks day. Because I know the way she went is like, you know, like they want to have their own thing. And then I read something after that because I was verifying my facts. I read something that Charlie Kirk said, you know, piece of shit white boy from Trump land, said that Juneteenth is nothing but an attempt by black people to take the July 4th away from everybody. Yeah, he did. That's what
oh
he
my
said.
god, guys!
Yeah.
Oh my god!
So that's my
what the hell?
That's my Juneteenth story for today. I'm sorry it wasn't a good one.
No, that's a what the fuck Juneteenth.
Yeah, it was.
People are just still 2025. Here we are. Well, that's why we talk, right?
Yeah,
because
that's why we talk.
Because there are just dumb people still everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yes, you're dumb. I'm sorry
Yeah.
if you're saying this crazy shit like you are. Like this is outrageous.
Yeah.
Like that's
Because it's about the blacks.
Because it's about the blacks, guys.
The block.
Just so you know. God, I wish I was in the waiting room next time.
So, well, now you know. You saw who they were. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I saw. Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking
about. That was one with long hair. She looked like a flower child.
Oh,
the other one
yeah.
Looked like she was from the country club. She was the one that said the blocks. Yeah.
The blocks.
The
Spell
blocks.
that, bitch. Spell that.
Yes. You know it's the blocks.
BLAQ.
Yeah.
UE. What?
So, anyway, that's my story.
Wow.
Yes.
So, happy Juneteenth to the rest of us, goddammit.
I know, right?
Freedom.
Anyway.
So, yes, today, episode 10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty good accomplishment for a couple of broads, right?
Condiments, crimes,
and
resistance.
Okay.
So, I'm going to start off today with a little story that's got me kind of like, are you kidding me? Which is just a nice way of saying, what the fuck?
That's an everyday occurrence these days.
Well, every day.
Yeah.
And so, as my brother reminded me, Shauna, what the fuck Wednesday doesn't need to be what the fuck Wednesday. What the fuck is every day?
Yeah.
You can find a what the fuck everywhere all the time.
Every single day.
I remember when we were young, talking about racism and different things, and I remember my brother saying, there's an asshole in every group. You can be racist if you want to, but you can find an asshole in every group, and he ain't lying, because they're still here. And so, I just thought this story was wild, because I was like, did this really happen? So there was a deadly hot dog dispute.
I like, this is crazy. This is a crazy story. It's a hot dog. They disputed hot dogs.
Okay. All right. So let me just say this. Okay. All right. They lived in Olive Del Ranch.
Okay.
In California.
Okay.
Okay. Well, let me think. Let me read. Let me see. Redlands. It's called Redlands, California. Okay. Redlands. I've never even heard of it. Redlands, California. There's an RV residential nudist park.
RV nudist.
Is there a lot? Is there a lot in the RV?
Oh, you know there's a lot.
Is there a residential? Is there a lot?
You know there's a lot.
There might be a lot.
There's got to be a lot.
We gotta name it. We gotta find it. And it's gotta be a lot. In Redlands, California, nudist park and resort. The Olive Del Ranch residential RV nudist park. I always thought nudist parks were a trip. You know, nudist beaches, but nudist parks are a real trip, because I've watched a show about a nudist park and was like, okay. You know, women, okay, our bodies are our bodies, right? You know, so, okay, you got nudists, everybody wants to. I mean, I'm sorry, walking around nude all the time, not my thing. Not because I'm so self-conscious of my body, but because, like, I wouldn't even go to a restaurant if they've got, like, nude, topless women.
Right.
I don't want your bare skin up against my wings, guys. Hooters. No, not. Hooters didn't have, Hooters at least had clothes on. But there are places that are topless that are like men, women, everyone wants to go. Wow, they got the best wings. Fuck that. I don't want whoever's cooking my food in the kitchen and whoever's bringing me my food with your body open. Listen, I don't cook in the nude either. Yeah. Maybe it's because of oil. Spats and shit. I don't know. I just
Because
don't
it's
cook
dangerous.
nude. I just don't want nudity and food together.
Yeah.
That's my thing. Just like last week when we talked about the clam chowder and
Yeah.
the warm milk and seafood.
Right.
It's like, don't yuck my yum, remember? Well,
There's a reason why you have to wear something on your hair when you're making food in a
I
restaurant.
don't want your nude body next to my food.
Right.
Okay, so nudist park and resort in Redlands, California. Michael Royce Sparks, 62 years old.
The name says it all.
Michael Royce Sparks,
Yeah.
62 years old, murdered his neighbors, who were 73 and 79-year-old couple.
Okay.
Yeah. He beat them with a rake, a hoe, and a hammer. Beat the shit out of them. Killed them. And they went missing in August of 2024. So in September of 2024, they were found. And their bodies were found in a bag in a concrete bunker underneath Sparks' home. Hence why Sparks.
But he didn't do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sparks said that this dispute happened like a year before. It had been going on for a while, but the dispute had been like over overgrown trees and shit he wouldn't cut. There was trimming issues, blah, blah, blah. It was kind of like growing up in New Bedford on North Street where Ma used to fight with the Shinnises next door about the snow. The snow on that side of the fence, the snow on this side of the fence. Like, we grew up with that shit. Back. It's like not even a joke. Like, I was a little kid, like, why are you out there, like, fighting about snow? And she was shoveling snow over the... It was like, oh my fucking God, you guys kidding me. Ma, you remember this story. Anyway, the Shinnises, they were a trip. Anyway, so they were fighting over tree limbs, over the thing. I guess so he made it very clear he didn't like it. Everybody in the nudist camp knew that he wasn't digging this couple, okay? Because that's what happens, when you're older and you're orny or whatever the fuck. Anyway, so then one day, I guess Mr. So the people he killed, Stephanie and Daniel Menard, Menard,
right?
He killed them. Yep. They gave him a hot dog. Oh, it was a hot dog from like $1 hot dog.
He gave them a hot dog?
They came to him, like, gave him a hot dog, like, hey, you want a hot dog?
Yeah.
And because the hot dog was a cheap hot dog, he said it was like a jab. It was like a jab to me, like, I'm not worth more than $100 hot dog. Like, you bought me food, but yet you brought me $100 hot dog.
$1 hot dog.
Right
not
there.
$100.
Now I'm gonna kill you.
Right.
And he did. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But were they nude when he killed them? That was my question. But that's not an answer I can find anywhere. I don't know. Did you kill him nude? Like, did you beat him with rakes and hills and hammers while they nude?
It would be smart to do it nude.
I don't know. He put them in his... But why are we killing people over hot dogs? Like, it was like a jab. He was like, this was the last straw. How dare you give me a cheap hot dog? I'm worth more than $1 hot dog. Like, is this a Nathan? Is this a Nathan hot dog?
He wasn't well.
It was clearly not a Nathan, because you're not finding a Nathan for $1 anywhere.
He wasn't
Was
well.
it a ballpark? Now you can have a ballpark, Frank. Not bun length.
Yeah, that's true. Not bun length. Nope.
You could have a short... Okay. You could have a short ballpark hot dog for $1 if it's made out of beef or pork and chicken. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. This shit cracks me up. But can you get a goddamn $1 hot dog? Nowhere. Unless it is, like, made out of pork and chicken. You can't get a ballpark all beef bun length hot dog for a goddamn $1 anywhere. So I'm not sure where they got this hot dog, and I'm sure they did it out of, like, kindness, maybe, or maybe they poisoned the fucking hot dog.
Oh, maybe. They bought it at a freaking gas station.
Yes, because you live in a fucking nudist park in a residential RV.
And it was in plastic, and it had the price on it.
If you go to a gas station, I know in Georgia, let me tell you, in the QT's park, the things, they had great hot dogs, but I was like, all beef or no beef? Like, I would grab an all beef hot dog from there, probably like $2 or whatever. Even there, it wasn't $1.
I'm sorry.
But are you kidding me right now? So in a nudist park, can I just say this is the other part that
two people died over
why are we killing the dog, though?
What dog? Oh, he killed the dog?
He drowned.
He drowned the dog?
He drowned Cuddles in the sink.
Because he couldn't leave the dog. The dog was a witness. The dog was a witness. Don't you ever watch crime crime show.
Yo, these
the
people
dog
are,
was a witness.
Listen, these people are fucking nuts. I'm telling you right now.
They
People are
should've
missing. They
moved.
find him under the bed. Right. He chopped, hold him, raked him,
He
hammered
should've
him up,
moved.
beat the shit out of him, put him in the shit. So now you're gonna go to jail, like for life, like probably, like.
Well,
Oh
he
my
don't have much
God.
life left
Oh
to
my
see.
God. He's only 62 years old.
Well, you know.
Over $1 hot dog because it was the last goddamn straw and he couldn't take it no more. But then he drowned Cuddles.
That's
This
wrong.
little white fluffy dog. Cuddles.
He
Cuddles.
killed Cuddles.
Fuck you, Cuddles, and your parents and your cheap ass dog. In the water, like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? You drown the dog. It takes a lot to drown anything.
Can I just say
It takes a lot to drown anything.
If I was really, really mad, okay, really, really mad, and off my rocker, I wouldn't kill the people. I would kill the dog. I wouldn't kill the people.
I didn't see that coming. What?
I would. I would kill the. Yeah.
You're gonna make me edit this with a little. What the fuck?
No.
to you?
Well, I'm just
What?
saying, if you want people to experience.
So you killed the dog
yeah,
for pain.
Exactly.
Oh, like John Wick.
Yes.
He killed the dog.
Yes.
You saw what happened with John Wick.
Yes,
right?
but
He killed every
these
fucking
elderly people are not John Wick. You know.
He could not have a TV for 15 years.
That's true.
He could think Juneteenth is for the blacks.
For the blacks.
I mean,
Yeah.
seriously.
Yeah.
Seriously, you put Cuddles in the
They
sink
killed
and
the dog.
you just killed the dog.
They had to get rid of the witness. He had to get rid of the witness.
Oh yeah, because Cuddles is talking.
You know, Cuddles is talking. Dogs will talk. You don't know. All right? The police show up and they're like, woo, woo. You know, and then they like follow them. All right? They follow the dog to where they are. You think Cuddles, he didn't know? Of course he knew.
Do not roo roo again.
Woo, woo.
Don't roo roo again, guys. I'm not sure about that rough that bark. I don't know.
It's a little dog.
But it was probably
You
like
could drown it in
it
the
was
sink.
probably drowning like blah 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 blah.
If you could drown it in the sink, it was
It
definitely
was horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible. Hey, you should have called your girl Christy Nome. She'd have just pop out. You know?
Well,
'Cause
apparently he
she
didn't
can
have
kill
a
the
gun
dogs.
because he killed the people with, a rake. And
A
all
rake,
this.
a hammer, and here's the thing: like, how did you kill one and the other one waited? Because you ain't killing them both. And I
No,
saw the
you
couple.
hit
This is
them
a good
both.
sized couple.
Really?
Okay, wait a minute. You just did like a movement.
Well,
What do you mean?
know,
You like
boom, boom.
Yeah,
boom,
you're not
boom.
breaking. You're not like rake.
No,
Rake.
you're doing like bam, bam,
Hammer,
bam.
hammer, hammer, hammer.
Yeah.
Oh, you're almost dead. Hold on. Ha. I mean, what are they doing? Fucking nuts. These people are fucking
Yeah,
nuts.
it
That's
is.
my first what the fuck. Okay, and that's the condiments section of the condiments.
Well, I
crime and
was
resistance.
wondering where the condiments
It's not
were coming
just that.
from.
We still have other food issues to talk about, but we'll get to something real serious now because
Alice.
that was my what the fuck. Lighten it up before she goes dark on us real quick. So, Laura Ann,
Yes.
are we going to war?
Are we going to war? No, we're not going to war.
Oh, we're not going to war
No, we're not.
because it kind of looks like it.
No, because you know why?
Do tell.
Let's not forget that he's Taco Tuesday. Okay? That's all right. He is just
Taco
like
Tuesday.
he
This
is
dude.
not. All right, Trump always chickens out. Yes, he does. You know why? Because if something goes wrong, he doesn't want to take the responsibility. So that's why he's always waffling. He never wants
We
to
got
take
waffles, chickens, hot
We
dogs.
do, right? Maple syrup. And he does not want
And we're not done.
to take responsibility for a freaking decision.
Right.
So he stands up there and says, well, I might, and then I might not. You think he's being coy? No, he's just being an asshole. All right? Because he doesn't know how to be coy.
So he wants us to waver for the next 2 weeks over his little bullshit?
He
'Cause
wants
I'm not.
Netanyahu.
I'm not, guys.
He wants two things to happen. He wants Congress to step in and stop him.
Mm.
All right? Because that way he can always say, hey, they wouldn't let me do it. And the other thing is, he wants Netanyahu to take care of it without us. All right? So what does he do? He moves the Eisenhower, all right, into
Oh.
position. So now we've got 3 carriers there with serious firepower. All right? I mean, if we want to do some serious shit, we can do some serious shit. Problem is, then he has to take responsibility for it.
What?
He
Responsibility?
He wants credit.
So overrated.
He doesn't want responsibility.
That's right.
All right? So he wants credit.
Credit versus responsibility.
That's why we're in this freaking mess. We're in this freaking mess because, all right, Netanyahu, they were doing the Israelis were doing good with their bombing, right? They were doing really good with the bombing. and doing some serious damage.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you like what's going on or not, they were doing some serious damage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And Trump thought that was really cool and manly and shit, so he took credit. After Rubio said we got nothing to do with this shit.
Oh, Marco.
Okay? Yeah, little Marco. So, Trump goes out there and takes credit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're doing really good over there. We, and we're all like, what? What do you mean we? What's this we shit?
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
we didn't get into
We
this.
didn't do anything, right? And someone pointed out to me, well, someone being my son, pointed out to me, well, we do have carriers over there. The bombs, we did supply them with the bombs. And we probably supplied them with logistics. So, yeah, we are involved, whether we want to admit it or not.
Thank you, nephew Brett.
All right, but we did not, thus far, drop the bunker bomb.
Okay.
Okay?
I've heard a lot about the bunker bomb.
And that's what Netanyahu wants. He wants us to drop the bunker bomb, 2 of them, all right, to get the nuclear facilities that are underground because, say what you will, the Iranians were very smart and they built underground. Okay? They think, and this is the problem, okay? Israel thinks that, well, they've taken care of Hezbollah. They've taken care of Hamas.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're taking care of their sponsors,
Mm-hmm.
right? Iran. And now they're calling for regime change. The problem with regime change is, all right, as Colin Powell said, you broke it, you own it.
Right.
Okay? So we, my favorite word, effed. We effed up Libya.
Effing.
All right?
We're effing up Libya.
We did.
We effed up.
All right,
Libya.
because we did nothing to stop. We didn't save Gaddafi.
All right.
All right, because we were like, he's a strong man, let him go. We obviously didn't save the other asshole from Iraq. All right, who we killed. All right, so we let all the strong men fall. The problem is that part of the world, they need strong men. They are not ready for democracy.
Yeah, not at all.
Okay? So, democracy brought in ISIS. As soon as the strong men were gone, ISIS moved right in. All right? So, what are you going to do if you topple the regime in Iran and you don't help them? All right? And you say, okay, good, we're done now. So, you can't do that. Right. You have to own it. You're going to have to fix it. Yep. You're going to have to help them fix it.
Right.
All right? So, it's just, there's so much. None of this is easy. Okay? And if you listen to Trump, it's like, no, he's an asshole. Let's just remember this. Oh, all right? He's Dementia Dawn. Okay?
Dementia Dawn.
Dementia Dawn.
I like that.
Okay? He is a
Sorry
man.
to all those who are actually dealing with dementia, because his ass ain't got dementia.
He's a
just
man
medicated fucking nuts, is what he is.
That needs, okay, a makeup and medical crew every morning to get dressed. All right? Because he's off his rocker. All right? I mean, he has his own personal makeup people. And by the way, they do not do a good job.
No, if he
because
has a makeup,
if
he has a glam crew, they suck.
They suck. All right? But
they might be the same people who decorated the fucking White House. And they suck too. So there's that. They all suck.
Help him with his catheter.
Oh, does he have a catheter?
We believe he does.
Oh,
we
kind of need a penis for that.
Well, no. You really don't. You don't need a penis for that. I think that's overstating things.
I think the catheter.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it
no.
does.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be real.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be functional. So, anyway, no, I don't think we're going
to catheters.
I don't think we're going to war. I don't. Okay. I don't think we're
that
going to war.
Question.
That is the question. And so,
are we going to war?
Roundabout, I have answered that question. I really don't think we're going to go to war with Iran. I think that, do you remember when he was first in office and we took out one of his henchmen, all right? and we let them retaliate.
Oh, yes.
We let them retaliate.
I remember that
to put things back in balance.
Yep.
All right, so we let them retaliate.
Yep.
To the detriment of our people.
Yep.
You know, that Donald Trump went on to say, instead of saying that they had brain, damage and everything from the bombs that he told me, you got a headache, get over it. The man who can't take a piss on his own. So,
heads back to the catheter.
Heads back to the catheter. All right, so, no, we're not going to war because he can't make a decision. If we got into something by accident, Tulsi Gabbard is out there telling everybody who will listen.
Fucking Tulsi.
Yeah, but she's right about this.
Okay.
They don't have a nuclear weapon. Iran does not have a nuclear weapon. Iraq didn't have a nuclear weapon. We went into Iraq because George Bush had daddy issues. Mm-hmm. All right? Because daddy didn't go all the way to Iraq, so Georgie wanted to, be daddy. And so we went to Iraq, and how many people died, and how many years did we spend over there, and how much of treasure.
Oh, my God.
And how many of our guys, are damaged, and our women, okay? And is just, we have got to stop going to war because a freaking Republican doesn't know what else to do, right? And they want to make money for the war machine. So, no, we are not going to war. Congress is going to find a way to stop him. And frankly, I think Trump wants them to.
You heard it here, folks.
Yes.
Right here on WTF Wednesday and Thursday.
I think so.
You heard it here.
I really think he wants them to stop him.
Well, I'll be damned.
Yeah, I do.
So...
Can you tell me about Florida, man?
We can talk about Florida if you want to get to the other fun stuff. This is another fun thing.
She got a list over here.
I got a list of stupid shit that's going on.
She gives me a list every week.
Because it's like Texas, and you got Florida. Well, I'll tell you what, though. The hot dog thing happened in California, and I'm a Gavin lover, so. Yeah. Gavin. Okay. You don't have, you're not really responsible for the nudist park, like, seriously. But anyway.
We don't know.
Florida. So how do you like your Vienna sausage? In the can?
Are we back to sausage? Are we? It's not a hot dog now, it's a sausage. And it's not a penis with a catheter. I mean, we seem to be all in the same.
Florida man, peas, urinates. My word, not peas. I hate the word pee. Urinates on food in Sam's Club. Do you go to Sam's? Do you go to BJ's? Do you go to Costco's?
Not in Florida.
Okay. So, Lady Lake, 50 miles. Okay. Outside of Orlando.
Okay.
Northwest? Northeast. Come on now. Man is in the store in Sam's. Pissing on canned goods. Yeah, just chilling. Just whizzing away. Got his little pickle out.
On canned goods.
And shopper is like, what the hell?
Because
Big Brother's always watching.
Would rather
dumbasses.
take a picture.
No, she took the picture to bring it to the people to say, yo, this man is like, look, he's peeing on canned goods.
He's peeing on canned goods.
So they go and then they look at the camera. Oh, he didn't just pee on the canned goods, right? He went and spent 10 minutes sitting in the furniture section, chilling. Yeah. Then he said, fuck it, let me go over to the meat.
Oh, no. That's a lot of piss.
10 grand. 10 grand worth of meat. If you know me, and most of you don't.
And good thing they have.
I have a real issue with urine. I don't like it. Wipe the seat. Put up the seat. If I smell urine in the bathroom, I'm telling you, I don't ever clean the bathroom. Not when my kids were young. Not when they clean your own damn bathroom. I don't play around with urine. Urine makes me gag. I can deal with a lot of bodily fluids. Been in healthcare forever. Like, I can deal with a lot. I had a patient shit on the table one time because she wasn't prepped. And I put the little butterfly in her rectum and... Oh, God. She wasn't prepped. She screamed at me in Portuguese at St. Luke's Hospital Radiology Department. La, 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 la. I was like, ah! Okay. I was in my 20s then. But shit happens. For lack of a better term. But after a patient who was sick, wasn't prepped, didn't even know English, different story. Okay, so, but I don't do well with urine for whatever reason. And so you're pissing on food, you're pissing on cans, You're pissing on now. You're like, oh, let me go to these
I would never go there again. Never.
guys. Like, what the fuck? He got out on bond, $3,000.
Did he go back?
Yeah. So this is Patrick Francis Mitchell.
They always have a middle name.
Patrick Francis Mitchell in Lady Lake, Florida.
Uh-huh. There's always a
Canned
Florida
goods,
man.
snacks, okay, then the meat. 188 units of canned Vienna sausage.
Oh, gross.
This is all gross shit.
It's
I
not a
wouldn't eat
bad
never.
thing to piss on Vienna sausages.
But
I'm
my
just
mother
saying.
would disagree
Wow.
on the 345 units of canned Spam.
Oh, I do like Spam.
Ugh. God, I hated Spam. My mother used to fry it.
She fried.
Oh,
I don't like fried Spam.
my God.
The
I
smell
haven't
of it
eaten
upsets
Spam
me.
since I was a kid, and I'm not. It's like we talked about last week with the sloppy
Yeah.
joes.
Yeah.
Oh, the sloppy joes and the Spam.
I like Spam.
And the government cheese. We had a house with 2 cars. And even an above ground pool. Not in the pool, but in above ground. Why were we eating that shit, Mom?
We weren't eating that shit then. We were eating
better
that shit
not have been.
before.
Okay, because that would have been bad.
Yeah, it would have been
It
bad.
would have been
and
bad if we
weren't.
were driving in that goddamn Nova.
We weren't.
All because we
That Nova did some time, man.
That
was
Nova,
a good guy.
everybody had to
That was
slide
a
up at
good
the same
guy, though.
time.
It was a
1,
good
2, 3.
guy.
Slide
That
up.
engine ran though. That engine ran forever.
I think you pushed one of our brothers out of the Nova. Anyway,
I may have.
just saying.
Lucky he was only one of them.
You got that right. 188 units of Vienna sausage. 345 units of canned Spam. So have at it, Patrick. Piss on the Spam. But leave the fucking meat in the real meat. Leave that shit alone, buddy. Okay?
So did he say why he did it?
Didn't matter why.
No,
he
but
didn't
did
say
he?
why.
I
No,
would
he
have
didn't.
asked. I would want to know why
There was-
did
I'm
he
sure
do
there
that?
was no reporters. It was $10,000 fucking dollars of meat
And I would be like,
that they had
"Man,
to throw out in
why
cans
did you
and
do
snacks
that?"
and meat and man, Florida. Okay, why are we just pissing through the store? What's going on here? What the fuck? Like, yeah, what the fuck? That is the name of this
Well,
episode.
apparently they don't
This
have
series.
security.
What the fuck? Another.
They don't have security, apparently. You know, because
They had to go back to the video, get all the video, and arrest his ass. Yeah,
well, obviously
man.
he's white.
Now, is this mental? Yeah, he was white. Because I looked, I'm like, if this is a black man, I'm
Now,
going to lose my shit.
obviously he's white because he would have been shot right there in the store. It's
Yeah,
Florida.
yeah. If he was black in the
He
store
would have
in
been
Florida,
shot.
whipping out his
he would have been
pee
shot.
to pee. Well, first of all,
Yeah.
well, let me not say what I'm going to
No, do not say that. No. Don't.
Okay, not that there are kids watching.
Yeah, but don't. No.
It would have been a little bit.
Don't do it. What part of don't
It would have been a bigger story.
do it? Okay.
I can't help myself.
She can't. She tells on herself all the time. We were just talking about that.
All right, anyway.
Yeah.
It's crazy, though, right? So we
That's
got
insane.
hot dog murders in California.
Yeah, hot dog murders.
We got Florida man pissing on me in Sam's Club.
And I really want to know why.
And so that's the BS of the what the
I
fuck
really wanna
that
know
we
why.
have. They're not serious shit, but it is stuff that's
Yeah.
happening. We can also then, let's jump to a real story. Well, this
Yeah.
was real shit. It
That's
just was,
a real
It was just
story.
stuff that I just have to see what the fuck about.
We have a lot of mentally ill people in this country because they
Do we
close.
think this is mental health?
I do. And I think that they...
I don't know that we can blame mental health on all this crap. No.
I'm sorry. I think
We are a
someone
medicated society.
who is walking through Sam's Club pissing on food has a mental health issue.
No, I
Yes.
don't. And you know why?
Yes.
Because I don't want the stigma on mental health that's what people that's what they do, because they don't. Because we all have there's a lot of mental
I'm
health
sorry.
issues. No.
That man has a mental health issue.
Nope.
Yes, he does. Well, then why did he do it?
He could just be drunk. And that's not a mental health issue.
He could just be
He
drunk.
could just be drunk.
We don't know that, though.
That's right. That's right. But
It was
it's bizarre.
It wasn't said that he was,
It's a bizarre. He was charged with criminal mischief.
But he wasn't charged with being inebriated.
He was
Because if he was
urinating on
drunk,
food.
they would have charged him with that.
They said, is this
Public
rage?
drunkenness.
Rage or just unchecked behavior? Yo, Patrick, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? But I'm going to look you up and I'm going to follow your ass because I want to know. what really
I want to
happened
know,
there.
too.
I want to
All
know.
right.
You look fucked up, though, in the
Yeah.
picture. You did.
So, we need to move on to a little more serious.
Let's talk about Karen Reed.
We can talk about Karen Reed.
So we want to talk a Massachusetts issue.
Yeah. And then we
A
need
murder
to talk
case.
about Atlanta.
Okay. Karen Reed, if you've been following or not following, the second trial of the murder of, is it John O'Keefe? I think
Yes,
it's
it's John
I think
O'Keefe.
it's John.
Yes.
Anyway, so now we still don't know who killed John.
No, we don't.
Okay.
I think it was the dog.
Okay.
I do.
Okay, so, well, we know it wasn't Cuddles.
No, it wasn't.
Okay. Because Cuddles is dead.
Was a witness.
Cuddles is soaked in dead.
Yeah, so was the dog.
Oh, my God. Cuddles wasn't
in
the
the Reed. No.
Oh, so yes, the Reed trial.
Yes.
We want to talk about dogs. The dog, if you saw the pictures of the scars, so John O'Keefe, I'm sorry, John Reed.
Yeah.
John O'Keefe, a police officer, okay, Massachusetts.
Off duty.
Fighting with his girlfriend in the snow, got ran over, supposedly, blah, blah, blah.
He didn't get run over.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is the second trial. First trial was a mistrial.
Yep.
Last year. Tried her again yesterday. It took, 4 days?
It took 4 days for that jury to come back.
The verdict slip was trash.
It was a terrible,
trash.
It was a terrible judge.
It was a terrible judge.
It was a terrible judge.
The second time, because she was
Same
the one
judge.
the first time,
Yeah,
and they
judge.
brought her ass back again.
Yep.
She clearly
They
had
didn't
an
have any
issue.
choice, so.
She clearly had an issue, which
Yeah.
should never be the case, or we should never know it, because you should never show it.
No.
Okay? She only was found guilty on operating under influence, right? They had to get her on that because she was on camera saying, "Yeah, I was fucked up. I was drinking.
I only had 4 drinks.
I only had blah, 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 blah."
Yeah, I had a buzz.
So then people were like, "Oh no, she might have ran him over." But if you saw the pictures of his wounds, right? They were like scratchy. They were like
They looked like a dog.
Scratch.
Yeah.
Scratch. It wasn't a car running over
It looked
your
like
ass.
a fairly large dog.
And they had to convict her on something, but if they could not, if the case was so poorly done, I mean, they were putting evidence in red Solo cups. She had such a big there were so many
did a horrible investigation.
Horrible, like OJ, horrible.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Horrible. So if they really wanted to get her ass on this, they should have done better. If they were going to frame her ass, they should have done better. We don't know. I don't know. You don't know if she did it or not. We don't know. But what I do know is she shouldn't have been found guilty, and she wasn't. And why shouldn't she have been found guilty? Because they didn't have the fucking evidence.
No, they didn't.
Because that is how the justice system should work. If you don't have the fucking evidence, then no, you shouldn't be convicting their ass. They can convict her on the drunken because she admitted to that on camera. They've got that video of her saying, "Yeah, I was drunk."
And they did a blood test in the hospital.
They did, right? But there was no proof that there was ever a run over incident at all. No. And because they couldn't prove that ever happened, and I hate it for the O'Keefe family.
I do too.
I am sick for them.
I do. They don't have closure.
They don't have closure, and unfortunately, when people pass, when tragedy happens, families of the victims feel the need
to punish somebody.
Rightly so, to punish someone.
Right.
Even if it wasn't the person, even if common sense doesn't play out, like common sense is not common.
They didn't like her.
They didn't like her. They felt like she
her.
was a conspiracy theorist. They said that that her lawyers and everybody was they were like, "Oh, we hate that they were scammed by her and believed in these conspiracy theories by they paint her as such a mastermind. It's like, my God, she should be running the country."
But they didn't like her before this happened.
Right.
Yeah.
They clearly had a domestic. I mean, it was a tumultuous relationship.
It was volatile.
It was a volatile relationship. So of course they think. And then she was like, "I don't know. Did I run him? I'm not sure." La la la. She talks too fucking much.
She got big.
I talk a lot. She talks too fucking much in
front of the camera.
Man, did she? Shut up. And did she ever? Right. So you could see why they were the family was like, "Yeah, no." She kind of almost admitted it. Well, she really didn't.
No, she didn't.
And so the fact that they couldn't prove that there was actually he actually got ran over, because they couldn't even prove that he actually got ran over. They couldn't convict her.
No.
And I feel like this is the one time I can probably look at the jury and go, "Y'all got that shit right."
Yeah.
Because they waited. They asked questions and they waited.
They did.
Because the verdict slip was garbage. The verdict slip to me was set up to put her ass away.
It was. It really was set up to.
They didn't even give them options.
That's why there was a mistrial in the first trial, right? It was a mistrial. And the defense asked for a change in the jury slip, right, of the charges.
Yep.
Right? And at first, the judge said, "Now we're good." But then the jury came back and was asking questions like, "Well, if we do this, if we find her guilty of this, is she guilty of everything?" And blah, blah, blah. And basically, they proved the defense's point that the jury slip was too confusing.
It was so. And if you look it up, I looked it up.
And the judge had to change the jury slip.
Yo, they giving no options
No.
here. The first one was like of an OUI, like of that. It's like not guilty of that.
Yeah.
But then everything else
Had a, but if you find her not guilty of this, how about this maybe guilty thing?
Yeah. Any
Yeah.
other reason to find her guilty except for it was like it was a mind fuck, to be honest. It was really like we were looking at it like
Yeah, it was
what do you
very
do
hard
with
to
this shit?
understand. Yeah.
I wouldn't have wanted to be on that jury, but whoever's on that jury, y'all really worked that shit out.
You did.
And you did the right thing
and
because
you should
they
be
didn't
proud
prove
of
their case.
yourselves.
They didn't prove their case,
They
which is
didn't.
how it's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
You have to prove your shit. So many people are in jail guilty and not guilty.
Yeah.
Okay? But there are a lot of people in jail that are not guilty.
Yeah, there
Okay? Because of shit like this.
Yeah.
She had a hard-working team. She had a lot of supporters. People second way around really, really got behind her. People that I know that don't watch anything like this were like heavy glued into this shit. Not the first time, but the second time. I didn't pay a lot of attention the first time either. The second time was more like, oh shit, this is some, I'm a fan of court TV, but you can see there are trials happening all over the country right now of all different stuff. So for this to make MSNBC this morning was like, I watched Morning Joe and I was like, yo, you guys about to talk about Karen Reed? Wow.
Yeah.
Because she had huge support. That was really cool. But she had huge support and it made nationwide. People really got involved in this because people were coming from all over the world to get into that Massachusetts courtroom and outside that courtroom. There were thousands of the streets were blocked off for weeks because so many supporters were out there wearing pink as their favorite color, blah, 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 whatever about that. But everybody was out there. They were donating financially. They were doing everything they could.
Well, they had to. She had no money.
Yeah.
She ran out of money.
And they were running. They were
trial,
ramshotting her ass.
Which is why I think I did not think so because I was.
There's a corruption shit happening here.
I
guys.
was speculating as to why she went on TV and did this whole. And someone brought it to my attention and said because she ran out of money. She needed the money because they refused to let this go. They wanted her to pay for this.
She's gonna have a civil suit. There's a civil lawsuit that the family's gonna do, just like with OJ.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a civil lawsuit that will try to make her responsible. And I hope that they don't get that. And I'm not being an asshole to the O'Keefe family, but y'all need to go after. Y'all need to work the money because nobody wants to be. And I get it. I've got a lot of law enforcement in this family, and I'm not one to say. But y'all really need to look into the framing of this shit.
Yeah.
Because having family in law enforcement like we do, and I've always been raised around it, I'm going to tell you what. I've got family that are law enforcement that will tell you how crooked that shit is when you're in there.
That this looks like a cover-up.
Yeah,
it doesn't look like a frame job. It looks like a cover-up.
Something happened here, guys.
Yeah.
Something happened here.
So, and if you haven't been following the trial and either one, all right, there's a couple of facts that need to be thrown out there. That where he died was a cop's house.
Mm-hmm.
He died in the yard. The dog in that house,
the one that probably scratched up his old arm,
and there was a party going on at the time that she brought him there. There was a party going on at that house at the time she brought him there. Okay, and she left. All right, and in the meantime, my thoughts: the dog who had a bad rep. The dog had a bad rep. All right. I think the dog came out, jumped on him, scratched him up, knocked him to the ground. He hit his head because that's what the cause of death was. Blunt force trauma. Okay.
There's no signs of him being run over.
No, there really wasn't. Except for the scratches on his arm, which they tried to say were caused by the
tail light.
Okay.
So that's it. You should have saw the whoop.
Yeah.
Whoop,
and they had an expert who came on and said, no, that was caused by an animal. All right.
Guess what? The dog isn't to be found because guess what? The dog is on house arrest.
They got rid of the dog. They rehomed the dog immediately.
And can't to be talked to.
Before she was arrested, before anything, they rehomed the dog and sold the house.
Don't talk to the dog.
Exactly, because it's a witness. No, that was a bigger one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Bigger dog.
So. Sorry, Cuddles. I think I drowned you. Okay.
Anyway, so I think it was a cover-up. I think it was.
So there's not enough to put her in jail, period. So they made the right move.
Yeah,
So did. Karen Reed. Yo, go live your life, man. But
Yeah.
they're coming for you civilly, but
Yeah, they're going to.
because they have to blame someone. And I
But
get,
you
and
never
I get
know.
there.
His family may want to just let it go.
I don't think so because
I
there
think
is a
so.
civil trial already in place.
There is.
Oh yeah.
They
They already
filed?
talked about that. Yeah. There's a whole civil trial in place.
We'll see.
Because at the end of the day, nothing helps hurt dead children feelings but money. So that's what happens.
But that's because I look at the OJ trial, and that's what.
But they never got money.
What's his name? They cut all his shit though.
But they didn't get money.
They got all
his
his shit that they could sell.
Yeah, but they
They
didn't get a
did.
lot. They didn't get a lot of OJ stuff.
But the
You're
thing
talking
was-
about oh my God, what's his name?
What is
Jesus
his name?
Christ, this is
Because
going to be one of those.
He had that face.
Goldman.
All right, because of his son, he was destroyed. His whole life was destroyed by losing his son.
Yeah, it was.
All right, and
OJ,
his daughter stood by Goldman, but I don't think his wife did. I think their marriage fell apart, and because he wouldn't stop. He pursued
because some people
OJ.
they cannot.
He was obsessed.
And I've never, God forbid,
Yeah.
I was ever in that situation. I don't know
Yeah.
that I'd let it go either. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think it's a lot.
Sometimes, for your own sanity, you have to let shit go.
And we're not therapists, and we're not here
And
to
just
tell you to
deal
let
it
it
in
go.
a different way.
That was a lot.
Yeah. So speaking of a lot, Atlanta,
What happened in Georgia?
there was a baby taken.
Not the follow-up.
Yeah, it's a follow-up. So on Friday, okay, what's your girl's name there? Amanda? Was that her name? What was her name?
Don't make me think about it right now.
Okay, well, I'm sorry.
Amanda Smith, wasn't it?
I think it's Smith. Yeah, we have to think about it because on Friday, they did a C-section and they took the baby.
This is the woman that
was the incubator.
Was the incubator for the baby, the one whose brain dead. They've been holding her on to her since what, February?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold that baby. We need that baby.
So they took the baby. Somebody had the audacity to say that she gave birth. No, she didn't. She didn't give birth. She's not alive. Okay? Yeah. They cut her open and they took the baby.
Oh, now let her die.
Okay.
She's gone now. Right.
So they took the baby, 1 pound, 13 ounces.
1 pound.
1 pound. This is named Chance. So I'm thinking maybe it's a boy. Yeah, maybe a little boy. I don't know. They took her off of life support on Tuesday. All right. And
so the family's finally able to bury their daughter.
Yes.
That they had to watch.
Yes.
This woman.
All right. But now.
Because she was a nurse.
She was a nurse at that hospital.
The trauma for these folks dealing with every day.
Yeah. So they took her off life support. She's been, they let her go finally after. This is such a tragedy.
I am sick of
it. And they're still arguing over it, over whether the hospital had to do this as opposed to
because of the law.
But the people in the legislature in Georgia said because taking her off life support originally would not have had anything to do with an abortion, that it would have been okay.
That's what they say.
But
because of the fear in the laws, the doctors were like, yo, we can't do this.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's that mix of mess that we talked about in that episode, which was like, who's really the reason? What's the reason?
Right.
Let her go.
So what I want to know is...
Because now we have a kid.
Yeah.
Who's going to fight for their life, the rest of their life. At 1 pound, 13 ounces, if they even survive.
I don't know. He's in a neonatal unit. And I don't even know if it's a boy. All I know is that Chance, to me, sounds like a boy's name. But also because the
chance of it leaving had a chance is probably why they named it. And who named it?
All right.
I can't.
I know it's hard. But this is what we're living right now. Women have no rights. So she died on Tuesday. They took her off of life support. They let her go. This child is now in the neonatal.
The NICU.
Yep, the NICU unit. Fighting to live. And so what I want to know is, okay, and everybody's asking this question, who's paying for this?
Yeah, exactly.
Because
this is what
you
I'm saying.
can't stick the family with
Conservatives
these
and all this
cops.
bullshit. Well, they said
cannot.
that. They said the family. That's why they said this was a financial responsibility for the family
No.
to keep her on life support
No,
this whole
they
time.
didn't want her on life support. They did not want her on life support.
No, they never did. They wanted to let their daughter go.
And I do not see any court in the universe making them pay for what this hospital insisted on doing. Okay? So, on any of this. So, but I think y'all deserved an update on that because I know that was a very intense episode that we gave you on that. And I think that,
well, we're going to follow up on Chance.
yeah, we're going to have to keep an eye on things with that.
Because that's horrible.
It is horrible.
That's just horrible.
Yes, it is horrible.
Wow.
Yes. So
let's backtrack a little to the events of last weekend with the No Kings.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of protests. A lot of people
Rained
caught
on.
action. Rained
My
on.
ass
People out
was
there.
wet.
Millions of people.
there seems to be a dispute over the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Because mainstream media keeps saying over 5 million.
Mm-hmm.
5051 is saying it was 12.1 million people who marched.
Yep.
Okay? That there was 1 million people in Boston alone.
Right.
All right? So, and I believe it. All right? I believe it. So, I think that the mainstream media is actually trying to make it smaller than it was. I don't think people really want to own what we're doing.
Well, they couldn't
the people in charge.
They couldn't follow it the way they needed to because they had a fucking madman on loose in Minnesota killing Democrats.
Yeah, they did.
Okay, so talk about another shiny object.
Yeah,
Another shiny object. Yo, let's talk about this madman.
Yeah.
So we're going to take away from Trump's little birthday.
How about his parade?
About his little parade because we got a madman, one of your guys,
Yeah.
Trump, one of your buddies supporting, and that was proven. You know,
Yeah.
he's voted for you, been to your rallies, la, la, la. That jackass with his fucking long kill list
I know.
of people. It's funny, these kill lists. Like, the kill lists never go past, like, the first couple people because you're so fucking dumb that you don't know what you're doing any goddamn way. And so I'm still waiting on how he got the police car, how he got all that uniform.
I can tell you.
Oh, see, I don't even know this update.
He actually is a security guy.
Security, though.
But see, security guys have those uniforms.
They do, but
Security
was he in a
guys-
security uniform?
Yes, he was.
So it wasn't a police.
It wasn't a police uniform.
Ah.
It was but he had a badge because security guys have badges.
So don't open your goddamn doors anymore.
He was in a vest.
I'm not being... Listen, if you're driving and you got lights behind me, I'm not pulling over.
And he had lights in his car.
I'm not pulling over. I'm driving to the... You're gonna follow my ass to the chase till I get to a fucking police station.
Yeah.
And then you can... Because people are fucking nuts.
They are.
You don't know who the hell is who.
Don't open the door.
Do not open the goddamn door. There ain't no pizza coming here at 10 o'clock at night. I didn't order shit.
Yeah.
Do not open your goddamn door. I don't open the door for shit. Not here, not when I lived in Georgia, not in New Bedford, anywhere.
Don't do
if
it.
I didn't invite you, trust me, I'm not the house you're just showing up to.
Yeah.
Not gonna happen.
Don't do it.
Oh, maybe it's flowers. No, nobody's delivering flowers at 10 p.m.
No,
don't do it. Don't do it.
No.
Everybody's so willy-nilly about, oh, the doorbell rings. Oh, Johnny, get the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Johnny, don't get the goddamn door.
No. So that was going on at the same time the No Kings was going on.
Yes.
And the military parade, which, by the way, was very joyful for the Army. The Army was celebrating their 250th anniversary. They had a festival at the...
I don't know.
Yes, you do.
Nope, I don't.
Yeah.
Was there a birthday cake?
Yes, I think they did have
They had a
birthday-
cake for Trump?
No, for the Army.
Okay, just checking.
At the festival.
Like, did Melania jump out of a cake?
Melania won't even hold his hand.
Yeah.
Why would she jump out of a cake? You saw it again. They showed it again. All right, where he went to try to do a pinky thing with her.
Yeah, she's like, I'm not gonna pinky
like,
with somebody who wears diapers.
I'm not touching it.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not, Grandpa. I'm not.
And I think it's
I'm not, Gramps. I'm not. Change your depends.
You know, I've already talked a lot about him today, so
go piss on some sausage.
He's on a catheter. He's not going to be able to.
Who said that? I can look that up. Who said he has a catheter? That's the third time you've heard it. Because he got a goddamn catheter.
He's got a catheter, I'm telling you. He does. He does.
Guys, I don't know where we're going with this today. We got catheters, we got hot dogs, we got Vienna sausage, we got
pissed on.
We're getting pissed on, we're dying, we're getting beat up by rakes, we're dying. Cuddles got drowned. I mean, I don't know what the fuck to do right now. There's so much.
But Karen Reed got off.
Karen Reed!
She got off.
Right. And let's talk about this crazy bitch. You want to talk about this crazy bitch? Let's talk about this crazy bitch. Because you're a lying bitch.
Taco Barbie.
Taco Barbie. Caroline Levitt.
Oh.
You lying bitch all the time
All
on
the
TV.
time.
Every day you're talking.
Oh my
you're
God.
lying, Pinocchio.
She's
you're talking.
actually worse than Sarah Sanders.
America.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, because Sarah, it's hard time looking at that bitch.
Oh my
Never
God.
mind.
Yeah, but can you imagine that she's worse than Sarah? She's worse than Sarah.
America. America. America.
America. It's America.
America, Billy Bob.
It's America.
America cannot function if President
Trump.
No. America cannot function if Trump has to deal with co-equal branches of government having the ability to check his power. Because God knows, no double checks here. In the operating room, you got to double check. Check, right leg, check, left leg. Sir, do you know what hip is being done today? Right hip. No.
They even write on you.
They write it in marker on your leg, right? Don't cut off the wrong leg. Take off the right hip.
And they still get the wrong leg.
Say, hey. Don't talk about healthcare. So what I'm saying to you is, no co-check, no equal branches of government. So fuck everything we've been doing forever.
Over 250
250. Like, fuck it all. Fuck it all. Fuck it all. Because guess what? Come on, Trump can't deal if he's got to have people talking to him. If people have to check him. I mean, if a teacher has to go on with his little red pen and go, wrong, check.
Yeah.
No, we can't run this. He's having such a hard time.
He's having a very hard time.
He's having a hard time
dealing with people who tell him no.
He's having... Yo, what are we doing? What's happening? What's happening? What's your answer, Laura Ann?
It's called fascism.
Fascism. Resist that shit.
All right, it's fascism. We're already in an oligarchy. All right, if you haven't been paying attention, look it up if you don't know what I'm saying. All right, we're already in an oligarchy. We're sliding towards fascism. We're already more than halfway there.
Yep.
And we are going to end up having to have a nationwide walkout.
That's what I'm looking for.
And we're going to end up doing it. Now,
it needs to happen.
It needs to happen. Apparently, people don't think we're there yet.
What's it going to take?
But we do have another call to action.
We have
July
the next
17th.
call to action. Good trouble isn't just a hashtag, guys.
No.
Good trouble. Reflecting on John Lewis.
Yes.
And his legacy.
Yes.
The next call to action is Good Trouble Lives On.
Yep.
Right? It's been 5 years since John Lewis. I can't even believe it.
Yeah, I can't. It's so long. So fast.
What is your role in this chaos?
Yeah.
That's really the question, right?
Are you fighting back?
Are you fighting back? Like, let's get in some trouble. Let's get in some good trouble, some necessary trouble on July 17th.
Are you calling your congressman every day?
July 17th?
At least once a week?
I'd rather write postcards. I don't want to call people.
Oh, I want to call, my congressman. I'm calling my congressman and saying, don't you let this stupid bill pass. This bill is going to destroy us as a country. It's going to kill people because it's the murder bill. It's going to kill people. Okay? So, Congress didn't screw it up enough with cutting Medicaid. Mm-hmm. No. The Senate thought that there was still too much of a deficit, so they cut Medicaid again, even more, instead of cutting those stupid tax breaks for the 1%. Are you freaking kidding me? Those tax breaks for the 1%, my taxes are going to go up. Her taxes are going to go up. Your taxes are going to go up. But they are going to get an extra $250,000 a year because they can.
Okay, you making that a year? I'm not making that.
That's what I'm saying. They're going to get that as tax breaks. Okay? That's going to be more money in their freaking pocket.
Than more than most people are making.
Exactly. For tax breaks. And we're going to pay for those by paying over $1,000, some people $1,500, some people $2,000 more a year in taxes. We are paying that.
Yep.
And with our taxes, we are floating red states because they don't make shit. All right? So we're floating them. That's why Gavin Newsom is like beside himself with what's going on in his state. They're ruining the economy in LA. with this foolishness. Okay, with the National Guard and the Marines and ICE. ICE has like permanently stationed themselves in LA. Today, the LAPD escorted them out of Dodgers stadium parking lot.
They tried to get in there.
Okay, escorted them out because they were staging in the parking lot and making their raids and coming back and bringing people and shit.
And people went bananas.
They went bananas.
And they were like, yeah, no, not here.
Yeah.
You're not doing this shit here, guys.
No.
So, I mean, so believe it or not, with all of the chaos, it actually does work.
Yes.
Because they're fucking bullies, right?
Yes.
So it does work.
You have to fight back.
You have to fight back. We're not saying go to jail, do whatever. No. We're not in jail. Clearly, we're here. See, Mom, we're not going to jail.
At least this week.
Not this week. But the fighting,
yeah,
for lack of a better term, I guess, pushing back helps. Like,
if you see ICE,
right,
okay, take their damn picture. Get in their face. Make them know that you're taking their picture.
The fact that people can walk up to you with mask on and don't even tell you who the hell they are and grab you and take you somewhere is fucking kidnapping.
Scream kidnapping.
It is fucking
Scream 911.
It is kidnapping.
All right.
Show your goddamn face.
Yes.
I don't want to hear, oh, well, that's because, they have a life too. No, fuck you. You wanted this job. You've got this goddamn job. Yep. And you should show your face. How did we end up in a fucking country where people can just walk up to you with a mask on?
And
wait till fucking Halloween, goddammit. Like, you can just walk up with a mask and go, I'm taking you. Yeah. The hell you are. The fucking hell you are.
You've already got people, all right, imitating.
Sorry, I'm irritated.
Imitating ICE.
Yeah.
All right, and robbing people.
That's what I'm saying. What are you doing?
Robbing people.
Like, I love Halloween because of candy, but I don't like it in the streets because people wear masks and you don't know who the fuck is what and what people are going to do, because that is the time where people can shut it down and be okay with it being masked because it's Halloween. Like, I don't go to Halloween parties. Like, I don't want somebody walking up to me in a mask. Yo, I don't even know who you are, man. Like, I cannot imagine the fear of walking somewhere and going, oh, shit. Anybody can walk up to you with a mask. No, you're a coward. Yeah. Show your goddamn face. Yeah. Show your credentials. You got a warrant, whatever. Yeah. Then you can take me. Exactly. Other than that, you ain't taking me, man. No. You ain't taking me. I'm going out dragging, fighting, every fucking step of the way. Every step of the way, however, whenever. I'm sorry.
I'll be screaming,
I'm probably going to die. I'm probably going to die. You're probably going to beat me to death, but you know what they're going to have? They're going to have it on video.
Right.
You know who's going to get that money? My husband and kids.
That's right.
But guess what? That's bullshit. Yeah, that is total bullshit. That's where we are in this country. But that is where we are.
It is.
So being tired doesn't excuse being silent. No. You've got to say something. You got to show up. You got to show up somehow, some way. The fight isn't over, guys. No. We've got to show up.
Not even close.
Not even close.
Not even close.
So you should visit indivisible.org to get involved. You can go 5051 movement to get involved. Join a protest nationwide to justice, to reform.
MoveOn.org. Democracy Docket.
Anything. Okay. Find what's local in your area.
They're all fighting back.
Everybody's fighting back. And guess what? It is working
in
places.
Working.
Rachel wasn't bullshitting when we saw her that time. She's like, this is frustrating and it's a lot, but it actually is working. Slowly but surely. It's working.
It's working.
It's just so much that it has to get so much worse before it's going to get better. Yeah. And we know that. And we're just all trying to stay the course. Yeah. Because guess what? What the fuck Wednesday on Thursdays?
On Thursdays.
Okay. It's more than just a podcast and a talk that we're doing, right? It's a fucking pulse check.
Yeah, it is.
It's a pulse check. Check your pulse. Guys, check it. Check it. See what's really happening out there. Yeah. This shit is happening, and it's a mess. It's a goddamn mess.
It is.
That's where I'm going to leave it for today, because I'm fucking frustrated. But where do you want to leave it? Sorry.
I'm perfectly happy with that.
Oh, she's happy with that.
I'm perfectly happy with that.
So we're going to shut it down.
Yeah, we are.
On that note.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. See you next time.
And doesn't she look fabulous with the new hair?
Oh, I chopped that shit off, guys, because it's summertime. She looks fabulous. Yeah. Okay. Cheers to you.
Cheers.